Okay, so it says that it's finished. And so let's try this out. I click on this, I click on this. I may have to reload it in case there's an issue. It starts with suggesting image prompts, which is now I have them that will generate an image. And I have my payload over here. And when I get to it, failed to generate an image. So what happened here? Headers. Okay, the request URL, it's asking Supabase to generate an image. And it's like, why? What are you doing? It's supposed to ask Smyth to generate an image. You're asking Super. Oh, you know what? It might be that they call Supabase and then Supabase has an edge function, but it did not return anything. Let me try the other one, the one that worked. It still asked Supabase. Okay, so the issue is in functions v1 generate image in Supabase. So you look at edge functions and it says generate image. And I can look at the code. And here is the Smyth UI URL. Yes, and for some reason it's complaining. So it's not, what's the error precisely I get? Failed to generate image. Let's try again. But why? This was working a minute ago. Why? Want some more fonts. So I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and say, I don't need an advanced model. Give me a list of fonts. Google fonts that are universal and work everywhere. No, give me a list of famous fonts and I can make my list longer. I'll ask Lovable to expand to more fonts. Narrow it down to the top 20 most popular fonts for simple media image posts. Use those beautiful bulky and fonts as well. Let's see if it's already fixed it. Smyth is not returning an empty array, is it? Let's deploy the agent again. Maybe Smyth did return an empty array, but we'll show you a way to test it. The GPT has a nice list for me. While I'm testing, I'm going to ask Lovable to update my font style dropdown. Do not use these fonts. And then I'll ask it to do the same thing for the visual style. Okay. I'm going to look at my payload and it said my payload failed. So what I want to do is my prompt is this. It might be this here. See, Jadida and Stokes might be people, and it's possible that Imogen refuses it. That may be the issue here. It's not Smyth, it's just that example. And I told you about Imogen's one. There it is. And if I say cricket player embracing on the field, run. And meanwhile, I have a new list of things here, and that was for the visual style. And I do have an output. So our issue was not the image, it was just the prompt. Okay, we're going to modify our prompts to say should not be. Any reference to people names should be replaced with a visual description of the person's appearance without mentioning their name. Okay, so that at least will solve that. And again, that was very easy to debug with SmythOS, with deploy. And now we will not have that issue again. Meanwhile, Lovable has already updated itself. So let's go back to the dashboard. Back. Let's say okay. Here. Let's take this one. It has some names here like Ravi and Ravindra. And we'll just check that our prompts do not include people. And that is accurate. All right, so now we're going to, oh, the styles have not yet been updated. Kind of want to test this out, so I'm going to reload this page. And I'm going to see the moment of truth for Supabase. I'm going to save to library. And it is saving, and it says it is saved. Now I go to the library, and I have my image here. Now let's check Supabase. I go to my storage, and I should see my image is stored in here. That works. And then I go to my table editor, and I go to content. And now it is storing the image URL from Supabase. So my storage is solved. I will no longer have that issue. That's beautiful. That works really nicely. Okay. Now, after this much work earlier, oh, I noticed that this is also working now. You see the spaces. That's good. After all this work on styling, I don't really want to get into fixing the login quite yet, although it's important. I want to do a little bit more functionality, fun stuff first. So I want to make it a little bit better before we move on. So let's go back to Cricket as example. We talked about how we want to show how we show the articles here, but I want to have a way to preview the article. And the reason is that the API actually returns a ton more information from HTML from the story. So if I ask here, find trending news, news search, I choose to return raw content. Well, I could choose not to do that, but since I do want to render, I want to render the raw content. See if I can do that. So I'll say to find trending news. I'll tell Lovable that this is great. And actually, I'm going to just do a bookmark in history. That makes it easy to find this checkpoint and revert to that later on if I need to make a change. So I'll say, this is great, but my API, right, returns the raw HTML data and that page also. Is that, yeah, okay. When I search for a topic, it shows me the results. Search. It shows me the search results. Could you add a preview? Few details something on that card that lets me preview the HTML that is returned. Okay, I'm just gonna try it to see what happens. I can always restore it later. Okay, I'm checking my notepad for to-dos. We extended the list of visual styles and fonts. We used the space. Use this. Yeah, we fixed the library cards. We stored the Supabase images. Yeah, all my to-dos are done there. Fix the login experience. It's still on my list. Also, I would like to create some text along with images. Okay. Let's see what happens. I need to reload the page probably. Donuts. And this is using Google News. Okay, view details. Okay. Is this truly the text we get back? Oh, I see. I don't feel like this is particularly useful, but it is useful for writing text with. Let's take a look at the API, what Smyth returns. Because if the details are not useful, then you don't have to use it. Let's take a look here. So we already have content. We have a good amount of content. Yeah. Let's see what happens if we change SmythOS to not return raw content. I turn this off, I close it, and I deploy it. You know what also would be nice is if like the styles had like image previews like Canva templates, and then the font had like previews. Oh man, this is cool. And I remember I asked for the monochrome. This is nice. Yeah, I really like that. I do think that when I do visual content, I should have a textual element with it as well. I want to change the two options to be either like text or image plus text. And I think I can do it with Lovable. First, let's me review what it changed here. Let me just reload the page. Like this. Okay, it becomes disabled. That's good. Right. Let's say, I think two functions. The first one is text only post. Second one is text image text post. And the second one, right now, you only generate an image. If I need you to generate both an image and matching text and text. You already have your APIs for it. So you'll have to update your output so there's the image as text returned in one appealing preview. Ooh, I have another idea. And you'll also have to update the library accordingly because right now it only shows image or text. Make sure the cards are consistent, right? The different parts. Okay, this all works. This could use rounded corners. But yeah, this works. Okay, if I click back, I can no longer do visual content. Okay, that's a bug. I need to wait until this is done because the labels are gonna change and my screenshot would no longer be relevant. So I'm trying to do is now a performance improvement. Okay, what I want to do that would I think would be really cool is if it's talking about Lovable on my feed, which is funny. Okay, so when I create a post, it should preview the post as if it's like on, as if it's on LinkedIn. It should preview it like a LinkedIn post. That would make it like super cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's still working on this, but this is something I want. It would be so cool if I can preview my post in the style that's already that would look like when I post it, complete with read more and the hashtags and the colors and everything. So I'll start writing this. It would be super cool is that when I generate a post with a text or image plus text, the output result is styled in a way that it's like a LinkedIn post preview complete with a more and yet fonts for fonts and colors, creating hashtag colors and links in the image for the send secure buttons. You can show them that it's grading well and they are in this book, of course. You have to devise something clever where this is done yet. Okay, let's see what the output is. Oh, I had to refresh. Okay, but we need to edit, save library, and copy. Edit, save library, and copy still works. So let's try start over. I'm gonna reload. And meanwhile, I'll give this a chance. This is a total wild card. I have no clue whether this is gonna work. Let's try this. The labels are good. Let's try image and text. Pick a random one. Okay, beautiful. Copy text, copy image, download. Let's save it to library. Look at the library. Gorgeous. Of course, these old ones will no longer be relevant now. We'll never have just text. So yeah, wow. This looks really nice. Copy image, copy text. This looks really nice. I may not like this experiment, okay? But I'm really digging this outcome. This is a win. Yeah. Copy text. Let's try it. Oh, do it here. Copy text. Does LinkedIn support this here? And let's give that to SmythOS. Let's upgrade SmythOS. That when it okay. Deploy. Done. And we just upgraded our agents. So now we have bold text support. Okay. Lovable is done. Man, this is so much fun. Oh, that looks like a LinkedIn post. Okay, okay. Oh, and look at what it did. Copy. Okay. This is a good attempt. But it's not really working yet. So it works with this too. Okay. Okay. I also have another really cool concept on how the project can be made even better. We can add a skill and to here. Let me see. I forgot what the API is, but I thought it started with yeah, I found it. AirShare. AirShare would allow you to send a post to anywhere on social media. So we could in the settings screen, we could add an ability. Oh, this is also fixed now. Yeah, we could add a setting to connect your social media profile. And then from Smyth, we could directly post. Okay, sorry, I had to answer a phone call from Michael. All right, let's see what this did here. So said fixed it. But yeah, the last thought was we could work with AirShare, and AirShare will let you post to any social media platform. So any post that we create that supports images and or text would work with this. So send post, delete post, post history, review, messaging, comment management, everything works in AirShare, and it's already integrated in SmythOS. So all we have to do is grab a AirShare key and then build the interfaces for that with SmythOS. Yeah, so maybe not super easy. I haven't really checked the API. I just need to check how it works. Like, how does authentication work with AirShare? Do you need an API key? Do you need the login and password? I don't know yet, but it's something that could be checked out and could make the product better. Okay, so now we have, oh, one other thing. It is totally possible to make video posts as well, like talking avatars posts automatically with Content Spark. And we could add skills here to make video posts out of what you're creating, and then also automatically post it to social media. And other ways to make it more exciting is right now it just searches Google News, the last 6 posts or so, but what if you wanted to like scrape Reddit or Twitter or something for what's trending in that sense? So you can make this trending news, you can make this a lot better. And this is just like very MVP, but it already works. So this is just some ways we can improve it. All right, let's go to the dashboard and do Star Trek again. There's a new show for Star Trek, a new season out. Okay, let's see. I just realized that will not age very well if somebody watches this video. There's always a new Star Trek season coming out, right? Like it's been true for the last 60 years. Okay. It is using words like Star Trek spaceship. So I'm not sure if Imogen will allow that because it could be a copyrighted item. Apparently it's okay with it. Okay. So it did not fix the buttons. It did not fix the buttons. So Lovable did not fix those buttons. What are they supposed to do anyway? Edit. Save to library. No. We need to add these buttons to the bottom instead. So we'll take an image. Let's say move these to the bottom. Lovable needs to do this. Wait, below preview. Maybe it's because I didn't reload it. Let's try this again. You have to admire how reliable SmythOS is throughout all this. It just works. I didn't have to set up servers. I didn't have to figure out how to make API scalable. It just works. Okay, the buttons are on the bottom. Okay, it actually was working. I just didn't refresh. So I just have one feedback here, and that is that my save to library button should be round. And then let's try and edit the text. This works. Rounded. Okay. Copy the text. Let's see if that works. This is something important because I see a lot of developers like committing code and they don't test it. While you're working, you should always be testing. Okay, copy image. Okay, if I do this and paste here, this works. If I go here and do copy image, and I go here, it works. Okay, so Innovation Lab. It still is returning these asterisks. That is not what I wanted. So let's look at my prompt again. Unicode bold. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Save this, and I'm just gonna test it in debug right now. Step. I realize my prompt can probably be a little bit more sophisticated. Okay, let's see here. It is still using the star and is using it here too. Okay, so let's turn this off. Let's take a look at our model that we're using, GPT-4o. Now let's try and use GPT 4.1, which is smarter than GPT 4o. And let's save it and try it again in debug. Because the instructions are there, but the LLM is not obeying them. So SmythOS makes it very easy to see what's going on. So there's no bold in this case, so can't really test that. Let me debug a scenario where I explicitly say, use text in bold in your response. The post text is, look at this. So you notice that I did not have to change my prompt further. My prompt was fine. Just the model was dumb. And here you can see it used Unicode, but look how cool this is. And you can hack LinkedIn this way. So if I copy paste this in LinkedIn, oh, look, this is now bold. How do you get bold inside of LinkedIn? Now you do. Now you do. So discard. Okay, so this works. Now what do I need to do? I need to not forget to deploy it. So I'm going to hit deploy and deploy. So sometimes the issue is not your prompt, it's not your workflow, it's not Smyth. Sometimes it's just that the AI model is not smart enough to follow instructions, and then you pick the one that works well. It just happens to be that 4.1 is a bit newer, and it's also actually very affordable. You can also try to do it with Mini or Nano, which would save money and would make it go even faster. So it's probably worth that we try it with Nano. So let me try it with Nano and see if Nano gets it right. Then Nano did not get it right. See? So it wraps donuts. So let's try the Mini. Maybe that one's good enough. And we try it again. I need to stop first, and now I can run it. If you want to know how long your models take to run, there's an inspect view, just like we saw in the Chrome DevTools. And you can also see your logs, and for every element, you can also see the request, and you can see the response, just like we did in Chrome, which is super cool. SmythOS debugging is so cool. Okay, look at that. It looks like this model knows what to do. And that means we can save money because Mini is cheaper than 4.1 full, and it will be faster. So let's deploy this once more because I made changes, and we're going to leave this alone. Meanwhile, we were debugging the UI here. This all is like not working, which is good. Okay, I would like the your name avatar to have 3 and then 4. Okay. I want 7. Number 1, number 2, number 3, generate an avatar here, this AI, and use it in the LinkedIn preview. And then 4 would be the disabled icon on hovering over the dot in the top right corner of this card. Like, comment, repost, and send. Okay, we're just doing tiny style updates here, but this is all looking really good. And we can copy in from here right away. I'm wondering if we should also make the navigation buttons round. There are a few ones that are not rounded yet, like edit and start over. Let's go back to edit prompts. Yeah, not everything is rounded yet. I would like the visual prompts to be longer. I also like that you can make your own. This is nice. I think this should be better. This is too short. Let's inspect what happens. Let's inspect what happens in terms of input and output when I run this. I'll click on this here. And why is it already generating social text right now? This seems to be a bug. It's generating social text. It's too early. It's too early. Okay. This is a bug. Lovable. So I want to click, create image plus text. Calls the generate social text. Okay. Okay. And then I had an issue with my prompts being not detailed enough. The prompts are just not detailed enough. So I want to suggest image prompt. Let's take a look at what this does here. A lengthy, detailed, descriptive prompt. No. Okay. I'm just going to add lengthy description containing because I want to boost the output a little bit. I'll also look at the output length here for a second. My output tokens are limited to 400, so I'll make my prompt 1000 instead, or actually even 2000 tokens prompt. I'll make it longer. 1 second, Smyth is reauthorizing. You just double check if it's saved. Yeah, this was saved. This is saved. Okay, so now we're gonna have longer prompts. I'm gonna deploy it. Okay, Smyth is done. Let's try this again. Lovable says I had an issue. Okay, let's restart this. Let's do Samsung. Okay. I'll take, this is not very relevant to Samsung, to be honest. That's why the relevance is slow. This is interesting too. We could probably use that when the scores are too low. We just say couldn't find something and give another topic. Note expand. Yeah, looking for week news, looking for day news. There may not be news in the day. So anyway, that's some idea to improve it. I'll just add it to my notes. Sometimes no content is found for the day. Use confidence scores. Okay, but we're gonna keep going now. Test two things. Okay, it only suggested image prompts, which is great. But I am not happy that my prompts are so short. So my outputs are so short. So there's something happening here with, did I ever deploy it? I think I did. Okay. It says deployed. Okay, just to make sure, I'm gonna do it again. Just to make sure I actually deployed, because I don't remember. Okay. This is good, but it's not long enough. So what I'll do is I will go to settings. I'll take my prompt, and we'll go to GPT, and I'll say this prompt works excellent. However, the descriptions are too short. I need way more detail. I need more detail. What am I missing? What am I missing? Maybe it is good enough, because then you leave more imagination to the AI model. Maybe it is good enough. But if I wanted to really make it longer and I can't figure out my prompt, the way to do that is you piece it. And the output should be longer. Return my prompt with the fixes. And so you can actually just give your prompt to AI and say what the problem is, and it's then going to write a new prompt for you that is more detailed. Okay. And now it makes a few issues here, like you see JSON, and it adds this here. Yeah, no markup, just text, no JSON. Mhm. Okay, it's kind of lost a bit of the structure. In text box is it's gonna retain the structure better if it's an actual text box. Okay, this can work. Okay, let's just try it. I can always revert it. The beautiful thing in SmythOS, if you ever need to go back to a previous version, just hit restore. Very easy. I don't have to worry about making changes that then are broken. As long as I hit deploy from time to time, it's fine. So I'm choosing this. Let's try to use the mini model here too. I feel like saving money. So I deploy, and here I can add a description like, thumbs generator images. And that's it. All right, so let's try it again. I clear this out. I send this over, and look at you can see they're longer, right? Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is what I asked for. Now, we could also think about what are the highest performing type of images. Improve my prompt from a conversion perspective. Okay, but we got what we wanted. We got a longer image description with more detail. There is a spelling error here in the image, and that's okay. That's okay. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to redo the text, regenerate the text, and regenerate the image without losing the other. Although for edit text, it's easy for me to modify. So maybe we just let you redo the image. I'd like to add that functionality. So I'll ask Lovable to make that better. Great progress. I see my post preview. I like to be able to have a regenerate button over the image where the entire post stays the same, but the image is regenerated. Music, beautiful. That would add to the user experience. Okay, I'm gonna save it to library just for testing. This works nicely. Take library, works well. And I can copy the text. Another lovable post. I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay, the text works, the bold text works. And we're gonna copy the image. And that works as well. Okay. Okay. Lovable is in full effect. Now, I'm sure that if you want a really good application, you just keep doing quality assurance. Like you do this, it doesn't really matter because we're building an entire software here in like next to no time. If you look at things like this, could have taken weeks, like just 2 years ago. So in the scope of things, this feels like boring work. To me, I'm bored out of my mind. This is not exciting because I have to go again and again. It's not exciting to me. But think about it in perspective. It used to cost you something like this. A very affordable offshore person might have charged you $3,000 to $5,000. Very affordable, bottom end, right? And anything like medium, you would outsource this to like someone in Romania or Ukraine or something. They'll probably ask around $10,000 for what we've made so far. Plus, there was no generative AI to even do this. It was not even really possible. And if you went with high-end developers, like you're a company, or you don't really know what you're doing with outsourcing and you're looking local, you could have paid $20,000, $30,000 for this. Let's say you hired someone in your neighborhood, an experienced person. It would take more work. It would just be that expensive. So in the great grand perspective of things, like this was only a handful of hours, and look what we've already accomplished, right? And so now you can take it from good to great. You can take it from good to great, by just continuing this process of quality assurance, keep hammering away at the details, focus on consistency, focus on user experience. Regenerate button, right? Is that really needed? No. Does it make the experience better? Yeah. All right, so let's try, we'll clear this up and let's see, Mercedes. Let's go with car. I want a nice car. So here we would do a Mercedes C-Class. Hopefully I get an image with a Mercedes in. This is luxury car. I'm gonna edit this and say sleek and modern. Okay. Save changes. I'm gonna go with this one. Just the standard design. Create your image. just like chef's kiss, right? And we got our little avatar image here. We didn't have to do that. Look, we have the little do not click on it, so it works. Like, we didn't have to replace that gray circle with an avatar, but it just makes things better. Now, if you wanted to be a brand and make people happy and feel all kind of things, have fun, right? Put like a famous people picture here, right? And rotate it. And every time you generate something, it's like you uncover an Easter egg or something and find out what's inside of the surprise. So you would want to generate more and more just to find out, I wonder who I'm going to get this time, which could be fun. Okay, so now I want to regenerate the image, but it does not let me. Now just remember, I did not refresh my page, so maybe that's the issue. Let's try to reload the page. Because Lovable says I'm done, and it didn't see it. So let's try this again. I love how it's responsive. Everything in the UI, it's like kind of moves when I go over it. Oh, look at this regenerate image. It's funny because this is a BMW. I think that grill looks like a BMW. That's why you have to read the prompt. Let's regenerate. And the UI looks beautiful again. Really nice UI. Makes me want to start. Oh, there we have a new image. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I want to know if I hit copy, will it copy the correct image or will it copy the previous one? I have to test this. Don't assume it. Okay, that works. Now the next thing I want to test is if I go in here and I click on save to library, will it save the correct image, the second one? So let's remember this picture, check the library, and yes, it saves the correct one, which is just everything we wanted. This is everything we wanted. If I have one criticism is that it avoided using the Mercedes brand name. In the image prompt. I had to put it back there. So maybe I want to update my prompt to say, I already asked it to not put people, right? I'm not, it added or branding, specific names of people, unless, so it looks like Imogen allows us to do brands, but not people. So I'm gonna remove that term and then deploy again. And I think it's gonna make our experience better. So if I go back to the dashboard and say Mercedes, I'm gonna go with this one. My prompts this time, I believe, will include the word Mercedes. Let's see. And here you go. See how easy it is with SmythOS? Seriously, see how easy that is? Now if I just accepted the agent the first time, wouldn't be perfect, right? But look at this here, my deployment history. I've already made 15 deployments. So it's not like I take my agent at face value. I actually make an effort. Okay, I want to update the fav icon. Okay, that's just a small detail. But when I'm here, I want to not look at Lovable because otherwise I'm like confused which one am I clicking on. But other than that, I think the product is like ready to go. Again, it's free while in beta. We need to probably add some constraints to that because people could abuse it. And we will do that. I'll add it to my to-do list. There's ways with Supabase to control it. Limiting. So rate limiting means you could generate as many as you want, but if you go too fast, we can say, hey, take a break. Okay. It's all you can eat, but in order to get a new plate, you have to wait on a waiter to come by you or to come give you a new plate to serve yourself. Or all you can eat, but you have to wait on the waiter to show to your table. Like that. Okay, so I asked for a new file icon. Did that actually load? Let's reload this. Oh, I have an icon, it sucks. But I'll stick with it for now because it's clearly different and lovable. Afterwards, we can do some fun stuff with like logos and branding and things like that. Okay, it's time to go to fix the login issue. I needed a bit of happiness for myself before I was ready to tackle that because login stuff don't like it. Now, the whole experience is basically, I'm a bookmark this because we're at a good spot. Okay, so the whole experience is not so good. So when I come to the home page, I type in something. So I will just tell Lovable, the whole login experience is not excellent. I am in the home page and type in some query. By the way, I'm curious about sign in. Okay, and then I'm back to home and I do this. Look how it adds this conditionally if it's available. Oh, that's beautiful. When I click on some query, it takes me to the sign up page where my query shows this is chef's kiss, not chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. However, then it asks, then when I am on the home page, then I am on the sign up page, and this page is called auth. It's important to be precise. Okay, however, when I'm on the auth page, entering my email, and this still works beautifully. However, when I hit access free, the problem is that my email then opens the page and does not open the dashboard and forgets my original query. Sad face. I think the solution is simple. Switch from magic link to OTP one-time password and preserve the query. Automatically start going to the dashboard where it already starts researching that query. The moment after I sign, if I, however, sign in without a query, it should just take me to the dashboard Ready for work. Okay. I will reload my page. My query was test. My code entry is here. I checked my email. And I have my magic link. And it's sending me an email with a magic link rather than my one-time password. So the way to fix this is I have to go to Supabase, and I have to go to Authentication, and I have to go to Emails, and then it says Magic Link. And over here you see it returns the URL. But what I need to do instead is use I think I have to use the token instead. So I'm going to update my email that says your content spark, okay, login code, because users don't know what that means. One and code. Follow this, copy, paste this code to log in. Okay. And then I will change this to the token. And you may say, hey, wait a minute, Alexander, this is curly brackets. This is the same as Smyth, because look, in Smyth we use curly brackets. And yes, here are our tabs too. So this is very easy. It works the same way. And then I can say, I want an empty line. Let's say this mode will be valid for, let's say, 1 minute. If you did not request it, you can safely load. Your one-time has arrived. Okay, I will save settings, save changes. And so now my magic link becomes a token email. So now I can retry it. I go back here, back to email, and I said send, and it says it sent it to you. And I'm waiting, and it arrived. And unfortunately, here you can see, unfortunately, it's still not solved. So did I forget to hit a save button? No, but it's just Content Spark login code. And it still sends me. Okay, it gives me a code when I click on it. It does not render the code. Okay. So the reason is that it's wrapped in a link. That's why. So I just have to do this here. That's the issue, of course. And I want this to be big. So I'm gonna do an H1. I want this text to be big. Okay, that was the problem. I was wrapped in a link. I forgot to see that. So I go back here, enter my email, hit send, look at my email, and wait, and I have a new one. Oh, and it's good, but I have a little quote there, maybe another, yeah, see, another oopsie. But I will hit save, and that will be good. I don't need to worry about that anymore. I copy the code, I go to the page, I paste, and it works beautifully. Now, what I want to see is that my word test is already inserted on my dashboard immediately. And boom, it works. We fixed the login experience. It immediately works. Okay, this is great. Now, I had another scenario where I did not enter a query. So I'm going to sign out. This time, instead of here, I'm going to go to sign in. There is no query here, and I still want it to work. So I'm going to ask for a one-time password, And the experience I want right now is that when I go to give it the code, it takes me to the dashboard, but it does not start automatically searching. So verify and start creating. And this is perfect. This is a solved problem. My login works. Okay. So let's see. We added text captions with image posts. We fixed the login experience, expanding content, or when there's low confidence score, let the user pick something else. So let's try Samsung again. And I think I will need to find a stopping point because I will keep building stuff in here until I take over the world with the software, okay? But my intention is not to start a new company. It's to teach you how to build. But I want to do one more thing. The confidence score here is really low. And you can see here the score was really low. If I go back, my score is too low. So I want to tell Lovable that when I call upon find trending news, if I call upon trending news, when I call upon, I need to save this, obviously. When I call upon trending news, it sometimes returns outputs that are low confidence. For example, okay, if there are no posts, so is it already sorting by? Let's check that out. It's already sorting by. This is good. This is excellent. If there are no posts with confidence more than 0.5, then instead of showing those low confidence posts, oh, how about we do it differently? Do not show results with a confidence score lower than 0.5 value. If that means there are no post results, suggest the user try another search query. Try again with another search term. Suggest to user that there is no news in the last day for that topic. Or give them the option to look for news in the last week instead. And so what I'll do is I'll go to SmythOS and we'll add a new skill. So first of all, I'll do control select this and I'll copy trending news and I have a full copy of it. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll modify it and say week, find trending news week. And this one, I'm going to set the news range to a week. And I will save that. And so what I have now is I have the exact same thing, except this time it searches for the whole week instead of for the day. And that's all I have to do. I hit deploy agent and I just gave your agent a new skill. Literally 15 seconds. So easy. Now I want Lovable to use that. If the user chooses the root option, run the search again, and this time use the API call. It works exactly like the find trending news API call, except it will search for news in the last week. If okay, let's just stick there, okay? So this will reduce the amount of results we get. So one of the things I'm considering here is that since we no longer return the raw output, the output is not too long. So one of the changes I want to make with SmythOS is I actually want to, so we're filtering out everything lower than 0.5 confidence. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna change it from sources limit 6 to, let's change it to 20 and see what happens. Maybe it's too much if it returns everything relevant. Maybe let's try 15. But we'll have to find out from experience what the right number is. And I'm going to deploy it. This will seamlessly work. By the time Lovable is finished, this is already going to be working. I think this is the last functional improvement that I'm going to make for this tutorial. I'm going to accept it as ready. So let's try it out. I'm going to go to the dashboard, refresh, and I'm going to go Samsung. Remember, Samsung did not return anything. So no high confidence news found. We can find anything in the last day. So I can now search past week or try a different topic. Search past week. And actually, I should be with the, okay. It says no high confidence news found in the last week. Let's just make sure that it is calling the right APIs, okay? So I'm going to open the network tab, find trending. And here you can see it's calling find trending news. Now I click on this. And you can see here, it is still calling find trending news. But that is wrong. It needs to call my new API endpoint. So what I'll do is I'll help Lovable along because here, this is already called find trending news week. I'm going to say for the past week, it looks for data from the past week rather than for the past day. I'll close that and I'm going to rename this to, although this is not used as much, find trending news week. And I'm going to change this to find trending news day. And I'm going to set this here in the past day. We'll try to make it easier for it to deploy that as well. It's not the issue, but I think I can help it along a little bit. So I'll go and get the endpoints again. And this code here will give me everything I need. For your loop, you're still following the hit news, which is the default template array. Call the new API and at week request is made instead. And I provide it. This is going to, I think, give it all the clue it needs to fix that. We can also look at Supabase edge functions where it has a function find trending news week, but it was not using it. See this here? It was just finding trending news. It did not call the correct function. So perhaps it was already correct in here. Yeah, actually it already worked. So my last prompt was not the issue. The issue is that Lovable did not, this button did not trigger the correct edge function. So let's see here. It's calling the wrong endpoint. Okay. So now it should work, it says. So we'll try it again. I'll refresh it. I'll look for Samsung. And okay, this is accurate. And now it did return find trending news. And I have a bunch of results back. Okay, actually, these are good. So I think I was too harsh with 0.5. Let's look at this one. This was 0.18, 0.4, weak, and it correctly calls the weak one. And this is not correct because I had several 0.2 articles. Okay, I have an image here. This is, you're still not showing something above 0.2 equal to. So Lovable did not listen. You know what would be really neat for products like this is if they add like an automatic quality assurance agent. It said it didn't fix it, but it added debug logging. Okay. So the console would say, these are the scores. And it says valid false. Okay. And then my network, I will now search for the past week. And my console says true. Oh, but this time it does show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so this works. I feel like it's a little overwhelming. So I should also, I wanted to, okay, it works now. First, remove the extra console login. Number two, even if regardless of your outputs, have your maximum results from in the start to the top 7 lines of payments stories. I think that will make it clear. 7 is a beautiful number. Okay. All right, this is the improvement. We've got a lot more stories. You can read the originals. It all works nicely. All of this works. So we have our library working, copies working, images working. We have safeties for people. Now is the time to get the app ready for production or hardening. Okay, so we're done with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and click review security, publish review security. And we're going to analyze the code base for security vulnerabilities. And it's going to come up with recommendations. And we're going to have to factor it in. Okay. Positive, negative. Okay. It's going to recommend. I don't have leaked password issues because I don't have passwords stored. but OTP expiry time. So I have to go to project settings and then authentication. Let's see. I'm going to give people 15 minutes to be gracious. So I'm going to change to 900 seconds. Save. And that means that the code that is emailed is going to expire sooner. Okay, a few notes you need to know what email. Email provider right now is a built-in email provider. That means that it will use the built-in Supabase email. And when you check here, it will show the emails come from Supabase, not from your provider. If you wanted to fix that, you would set up a custom SMTP server. You would enable that. And in here, you would say it comes from hello, no reply at Content Spark. You would enter host and settings for an actual email provider. And if you get less than you expected, you can always downgrade back again. But resend is going to give you this information that you need to fill in right here. It's very easy to set up. So I'm going to turn this off now because I don't actually want to do that just quite yet. But this is something you should know. This is how you'll configure email. The other thing you should know is when you're ready to publish this to the web, you can hit publish